How's it going, everybody? Welcome back for another installment of Tech Support Thursday. It's been a busy week, as you probably can imagine, and I know I've been a little lackadaisical, like a lot lackadaisical, on getting the excuse me, on getting the videos out there. I'm currently trying to get a lot done, stuff like that. So, um, I'm going to answer some of the questions and some of the comments that I've gotten recently, and then get this banged out. And then tomorrow, I'm going to hopefully get another video released. But I have some really cool stuff that I'm working on. I'm going to give you a little bit of some insight as to what I'm doing and stuff like that. Um, so let's go ahead and answer these questions real quick. These comments. Tech Support Thursday, Ticket 17. I think there is some Lisp technology in DNA Center. No more usage as far as I know. Usage as I know for Lisp. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I have not seen. There's one deployment that I'm aware of. I don't know if it's still in play. That there was in the New Jersey, New York, Delaware area. There was a Lisp deployment, public Lisp deployment, but I don't know if it's still in play. I never really could understand the design use case around Lisp. So because I could never wrap my head around a design use case, it was one of those things where I've labbed it up and I've got it working before. Um, at some point in the future, I will relab it up and I'll go through it. But it's one of those things where I haven't really found a good reason to use it. That's really what it comes down to. If I had to justify the utilization of Lisp in a solution, I would have a really hard time coming up with one as an engineer or as an architect. So it's kind of where I'm at with that. So, but I agree with you. Other than in SD access as the control plane flooding, I don't see where else it could possibly be used. Now that's a limited understanding of having never seen a Lisp deployment before. So I have used Lisp in proof of concept designs and ways to migrate away from things like DMVPN and things like that to be like the next generation of that, and then using GetVPN for large scale deployment. I have demoed that up and it worked quite well. Actually, I used the Lisp book. I forget which one it is specifically, but I used that and it worked out quite well. The customer was really impressed by the solution, but it was more than what they needed. So that's the real trigger for a lot of the deployments that I've seen. There was a gentleman who responded or commented on several SD-WAN videos, and the comment was, "Thank you very much, Rob, for this wonderful series. Fantastic job." Well, thank you, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. And that was on SD-WAN 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and stop there. So thank you for the comment. I appreciate that. On Data Center 9000V, VXLAN 17, external connectivity to private WAN, can you make a video of MPLS LDP SR handoff from VXLAN Fabric? That's actually a really good question, and I responded with, I'll see what I can do. And that is a feature of newer versions of NXOS. They have it built in, I believe the 10.1 is the version that I did some research on, and they do have that availability to do LDP and segment routing handoff. I have not demoed that yet, but it's something on my radar to test out and stuff like that. So cool stuff there. CCNP Encore and an RC Series 9 EIGRP summarization. Please complete the series. Thanks for hard work. So, okay, so I know it's been a while since I've finished putting out any content for the CCNP Enterprise series, the Encore and an RC. I covered SD-WAN, so that one's already good. But the Encore and an RC, at the time, I had gotten pretty behind the... I just got tired of talking about the same technologies over and over and over again. And at the time, I was teaching that during my day job as well. So I felt like became monotonous, you know. So I needed a break from it. That's why I stopped and focused on other things. So, but that time has come and gone, right? So I'm feeling a lot more energetic to dive into these technologies again and stuff like that. So I'm actually going to, I'm going to, what I'm going to do is, and I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to pull it off yet, but I am going to start covering the Service Provider series of content from the entire blueprint is my goal. Because now that the CCIE labs are open again, that actually has kind of given me well, maybe now it's time to go back and knock out Service Provider. Because I feel like I left it undone, right? It's like I went to the lab in November of 2019. I didn't do terrible, but I didn't do great either. But it's a bunch of technologies that I'm already really familiar with, and now that my job change is one where I'm working with those technologies more on a regular basis, and it's not me working over here and teaching, so me learning up here but teaching way down here. I'm working and learning up here now, and so now I need to now I feel like I putting the effort in would be worth my time, where before me getting a second CCIE would have just been going through the motions of getting a second CCIE. There's also a couple of other aspects of it to where it would be worth the effort. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be knocking out Service Provider series, and my goal is to cover all 3 exams at one time: SP Core, Advanced Routing, and then the VPN exam. So those are specifically here. Let me pull up Adobe Acrobat real quick and home. So that's going to be the SP Core series. Go ahead and just pull these up real quick while I'm SP Routing and then SP VPN. So it'll be SP Core, which is Core Technologies, then Service Provider Advanced Routing Solutions, and then Service Provider VPN Services. So my goal is to cover these topics in a topology that looks something like this. This is my service provider topology that I'm currently developing and working on. It's a doozy. There's a lot to cover, but it's going to allow me to cover just about everything. Not everything at one time, but a lot of the technologies that are on the blueprint. This is what I'm planning on going through and covering, and there will be a very large video series that will come out of this. So that's kind of what I'm planning on doing here over the next couple months. It's probably going to take me to record all that. There's going to be some things that are going to have to be learned again, because it's been a while since I've touched them. But if you're interested in not only knowing, this is going to cover more than you would have gotten for the Enterprise series, because the Enterprise series would not have, I kind of just ran out of steam for it. So now I took a long break, focused heavily on VMware for a while, and now I'm like, you know what, I kind of miss this stuff. Getting into the nitty-gritty details and diving into some more advanced routing and switching labs. So I'm kind of got a renewed interest in diving into this stuff. Plus, I'm having to work with this on a regular basis with the customers that I work with now. So I'm actually really interested in diving into this stuff. So yes, I will be picking up where I left off. So we'll be diving into OSPF. We'll be diving into ISIS. It'll be everything we're going to be covering from here on out will be, we'll cover the topics that you would see on the Enterprise series. So I will make sure to incorporate those topics into it, but it'll be titled Service Provider. But in the description and the tagging of the videos, I'll make sure to include Enterprise for the content that we're going to be doing. So you're going to be seeing OSPF, you'll see ISIS. Even though ISIS isn't on the Enterprise exam, you will more than likely see it if you go to work for a company and they've got SD Access or ACI deployed. You're going to see some ISIS in there. It's good to just know how ISIS works than it is not to know how it works. So yeah, that's coming sooner than later. Carrier supporting carrier L3 VPN on iOS and XR. Blog link are not valid. Okay, I'll have to double check on that. The blog, something might have happened to the blog. I don't know. It's been a while since I've done anything with the blog, but you know, it is what it is. Cisco and VMware Home Lab update. You guys seem to have loved this video, so it seems like you guys like watching this type of stuff. And as this guy said, I don't know how to say your name, or else I would say your name, because you have one of the best comments I've seen in a while. Some lab porn, and I like that. That's funny. So yeah. How do I determine which servers to buy for my home lab? This person responded with yawn. Okay. To each their own. Yeah. I could come back with so many things and be like, but I won't, because I'm going to take the high road, because that's just who I am. I don't start fights. I ignore people that want to bring negativity to me. Physical lab deployment part 1. Hey Rob, I just got PowerEdge older servers and try to see what you think. PowerEdge 715 in parentheses 5. It means you got 5 of them? Good job. All I can tell you to do is, keep playing with them and, leverage the heck out of them. On SD-WAN 6 Service VPN overview connected and static routes, completed lab 6. Thank you. You are welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed it. On SD-WAN 9 Service VPN 1 connected routes via CLI and template. Hi Rob, thanks for sharing the wonderful video. One question, how to wipe or delete one configuration which is already pushed to devices in vManager, like delete a configuration for VPN subinterface. Well, you can undo the changes that you made and then push that template back down, which will remove the config. Or you can make changes to that template, or you can delete the template completely and rebuild a new one. There's a number of different ways of doing it. If you're in managed mode, meaning that the vmanage is the one pushing the config, that's what you can do. If you are in CLI mode, you can go in there and just make CLI changes to it. Most people don't do CLI changes though. How to install a CSR 1000V in EVE-NG. I have installed it, but when I start 3 second, it be off. I'm not really sure, because something tells me, think here. Something tells me that when the name of the image, like the Vert IOA or the SATA A, what is the other one that I've seen? I think those are the two that I'm thinking off the top of my head. There might be another variation of the naming structure for CSR, but I'm pretty sure that's what CSR uses. Actually, 1 second while I go look. Anyway, the bottom, my point though, is that, let me jump back up here real quick to QCOW2, CSR 1000V. Let's look at an older image. Yeah, Vert IOA QCOW2 on the next gen ones, same thing. So with those, if the name of the image is incorrect, it'll go to power on, but then it'll immediately power itself off. So make sure you have the file name is correct in the directory that you uploaded that image to. So in other words, if you go and you upload the CSR 1000V image to the folder CSR 1000V dash universal, whatever your version of code is, if you go in that folder and the file name is not vertioa.qcow2, it'll never boot up, because Eve is specifically looking for that specific file name. So you'll need to make sure that that's correct. I have ran into that problem a couple times in the past, and it's come back to bite me. That's what I would recommend you do. Service provider Intra AS L2 VPN 2 local switching, local bridge domain. Hi from England. Hello from the US. Is it possible to get all the configs for devices in this lab? I am trying to follow in GNS3 but need all the IP addressing for interfaces. Also, what is QFP standing for? So because of the fact that I'm diving back into the SP, I can basically recreate that lab. And I don't remember the configurations that I gave it. I can spend a little bit of time creating the Notepad docs, and since you're already a member, I can just upload them and do that. Hopefully that'll help. But the configs that I put up are not the actual local switching bridge domain configurations. It's just the IP addressing info. That's literally all I give you. So you can power the devices on or import them. You can import the UNL file into your Eve server or your Eve instance, and then once you power devices on, copy and paste the initial configurations into the CLI, and you're up and running within just 5 to 10 minutes versus having to manually type in all the configuration yourself. That's one thing that you could do. Now QFP, okay, he's referencing the CSR 1000V. So if I go jump back over here to my desktop, this QFP is what he's referencing, and that stands for Quantum Flow Processor, and that is the CSR 1000V because it's a multi-threaded CPU running the image. That's what IOSXE runs off of and is able to do its job. That's what that is. On CCNP Encore and RC-L3 series floating static routes. Hey Rob, is that simulator GNS3? No, that is EVE-NG. I do not run GNS3 at all. I have it still installed, but I haven't powered it on, and I can't even tell you how long. It's been probably a couple of years. The last time I can remember powering it on. Service provider Intra AS L2VPN 7 L2VPN PW or pseudo-wire, templates, and something else. My pseudo-wire connection is up, but I can't ping 10131 or 10133 from each other. I have sub-interfaces configured for VLAN 10 on R1 and R3. I have no clue why, please help. So I responded with, view all 3 replies. I checked the video. The attachment circuit, which is the connection between the PE and the CE, is using EFPs or Ethernet flow points with service instances. So no sub-interface is needed there. The CE side shouldn't need a sub-interface. Yeah, I removed sub-interfaces and put IPs on normal interfaces. Still pseudo-wire is up, but can't ping end-to-end. Exact same config as you. I even checked the config manual. You think there might be an issue with the SP core. I can't ping everything in the SP. Can ping? Oh, I can ping every. Oh, sorry. The grammar, there's no space between can and ping, so it's I can ping everything in the SP core. Okay, so that means that doesn't really necessarily mean anything. That just means that you have layer 3 reachability. I had this exact same problem when using Xconnect type P2P L2 VPN and when using interface pseudo-wire config. Okay, because you're having so many problems, tells me I need you to validate, and this is something I didn't think about, I need you to validate that you're using a CSR 1000V and not an iOS box. Because iOS CSRs, or the CSR 1000V is IOSXE, where the iOS boxes don't support any of those more advanced layer 2 VPN solutions the last time I checked. So just be cognizant of that. I will check into some other stuff, but yeah, beyond that, I'm not really sure what else your issue could be beyond that. I'm kind of like, oh. So, beyond that, hopefully that fixes your problem. But if not, I'd have to dig into it further without knowing more. So the updates, as I said that there would be. Like I said, I'm going to be developing, actually I can just show you. I've already showed you this. I've already showed you the topology for my Surface Spider track. This will be one of 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 topologies that we're going to go through and build out. I have another one over here. This will be for segment routing with XRV9Ks. And I have another one over here for doing some firepower testing and stuff like that. So that'll be cool to get running. But this is the one I'm going to be rolling out with first. We're going to be taking a look at how all that stuff comes to all together. And then, if that wasn't cool enough, oh, it logged me out. Oops, that wasn't nice. There we go. A VMware NSXT series is coming in the very near future. That'll be a whole lot of fun and stuff like that. So that's basically what I'm going to be showing you guys how to work with here in the near future. So lots of really cool stuff coming with that. That series is in the works as well. But these are some of the things that I'm working on to try to get the channel to be more marketable to everybody. So I'm hopefully everybody gets some stuff out of this, and yeah, I'm actually really excited about it because it gives me a chance to get back down to the brass tacks of network engineering, and I'm really interested in doing that and going from there. So yeah, I'm gonna continue to do the Tech Support Thursday stuff. I'm gonna try to get as much content as I can created. I'm not gonna be running like the devil trying to get it done. I'm gonna it's gonna take some time to do it. And what my goal is long term is to get through the technologies, and this series that I'm gonna be working on for SP. The goal is to ramp me back up to go take another attempt at the SP lab. That is my goal. And then once I've knocked out SP, I'm going to transition over to security, and I'll do some security stuff as well because I've always wanted to get a security CCIE as well and go from there. But I'm actually having a lot of fun diving into this technology again, and I'm hoping to take my interest in the tech, pass it on to you guys, and hopefully get you guys further along in your paths. So with that being said, thanks so much for stopping by, hanging out with me in this video, and I'll catch all of you in the next one. Take it easy, guys.